Alright, now if you're watching this and you're seeing my face, I probably did the same thing with a couple other videos because I need to go ahead and get them out and editing them, and then also editing the thumbnail into the video. It's not hard, but it's time consuming. But I digress. Part 13 of What If Deku is a Villain, okay? So we got your boy Deku realizing what he needs to do after that perfect maniacal laugh that I pulled off somehow. Deku gets up, and this is also after about a day or two, which, fuck it, I'll say these niggas have 2 weeks, bro, because I want them to get a little more training in. So we're gonna say they have 2 weeks, and if they don't, they missed a couple of weeks of school. Who cares? I might throw that into the story later, but it's not gonna be no major plot point. I just want them to get a little more stronger than a few days, because the power boost that I plan to give them, or how strong I plan to make them, I don't want it to just be out of the thin air, like, oh, they just got really good training. No. So they spend that first part of the week just getting started, getting used to the regime, and eventually they get a lot more used to it. And Uraraka and Bakugo don't really talk, they just pass each other and passing and then keep it moving like real soldiers do. So they do that shit, right? They really start getting jiggy with it when like around the ending of the week. Because we'll say Monday and Tuesday pass, and then we got that, extra week in canon because it was a week off after the USJ, I think it was. Deku goes out, bro. That nigga pops out of the shadows, and niggas are like, ah, shit, boss back at it again. And they kind of understand their role and their position. Like, they'll still tease Deku and stuff, but it's more of a lightful thing than anything else. And only a few people do it, because it's not out of disrespect, and Deku understands that too. Oh, so Deku, I'm gonna say his fit is gonna typically be how I have him in some of his thumbnails, where he has these gloves and he has these dark green eyes with that look, and he switches out from between of either having a suit on or kind of like a lobe cap, what's the word I'm looking for, guys? Lab coat. There you go, my dyslexia was fighting me. Lab coat, and also wearing a suit. So right now he's wearing the lab coat, and let me say, it's that a supreme crispy white, you hear me? And so he basically walks out and he's like, I'm that guy, simply put. And he knows what he's about to go do. He knows his number. And he tells Dabi, like, hey, bro, I don't need to destroy the heroes. I just need to make a statement to get somebody's attention. Anyway, so he does that, right? And now let's take into note, one, Deku's strong on his own right, all right? And everyone else is strong in their own right too, because Deku's modified them. Most of them, if not all of them. If some people have quirks that didn't coincide with their body properly, it's okay. Deku fixed that for their quirk to work with them. It's almost like how do I say this without getting demonetized? Drandender, how they kind of modify themselves to feel more comfortable in their bodies. It's like that, but with something you're born with. So you keep it, you're just trying to help it be better, simply put, okay? And so, with that being said, Deku goes out. And he's like, you won't be able to join me on this field trip, but don't worry. Oh, don't worry, your time will come soonly. And oh yeah, measurements, he says with a deep, booming, commanding voice, as twice pops out. Multiple twice pops out, does measurements to the T, to the letter, no sweat, no beep about it. There's a little gag or a little joke there, because as Twice is doing the measurements and he goes down below the belt, he keeps extending it by a few inches, and Deku looks at him slightly menacing, but more of a playful menace, but serious, but not, and looks at him like, I will one-shot you. Twice, okay. Toga looking on in slight excitement, and he's like, none of that. No, if I find out you do that, Toga, you're going in the torture chamber. Toga pouts a little bit. Anyways, Bakugo and Uraraka hear this in the distance. What the fuck is a torture changer? As they're walking back with Stain. You'd rather not know, kids. Some things are better left unspoken. And I've killed my fair share of people. But that place. To be fair, I think that kid's the most dangerous one out of all of us. And he would say something to the effect like, even though we have like murder sheets and all of this baloney, this and that, he would be like, yeah, that would be pushing the boundaries a little bit even for me. And so, with that being said, we would have it to where Deku basically gets his drip ready, get his fit ready, looking icy, looking cold with it. And, you know, after his measurements, he tells them, bring out the 5 identical clones to Deku. Pops out, looking very different. 5 different emotions are being explained, but all of them are pretty much the same. And hold up, guys, I'm sorry, I heard something moving in the grass and I kind of can't see what it was. I don't trust that shit. Anyways, so they all come out, but basically it's clones of Deku's. And he's like, well, y'all served y'all job perfectly. I'm pretty sure you did pretty well with the modifications. And they're like, yes. And he's like, excellent. Cool beans. Guess this is where we depart, huh? He's like, yeah. And they're basically like, go ahead, kill us. Grant us the permission or grant us the freedom of death. And Deku's like, that would be my pleasure. As he gets his hand ready, he puts his hand out. Well, first he cuffs it or balls it up, extends it, and then 4 tiny energy balls, or ki as we're calling it, would protrude from Deku's hand and then right next to their faces or really close to them. And then one's like, do it, kill them all. Well, yeah, one's like, kill them all, and one's like, change society for the better. Boom. And then a third one would be like, I believe in you because you are me. Goosh. The fourth one, show those bastards how it's really done, especially him. Boom. I can't believe it. I knew I was strong, but this is just impressive. He takes like a stance reminiscent to Bakugo, but show those lazy bastards what a real hero, what a real mind, what a real quirkless idiot could really do. Boosh. With that being said, all those preparations, new clones were made in their stead, but in a different area. And then as they about to fade off, well, he looks back at him and like, the next time we meet, y'all will die. And now, it's better than what you're gonna have to go through, since we technically know what you're gonna have to go through. We get to live for a little bit and die. You, on the other hand, have to keep living. I think that's more of a bigger punishment than anything. And Deku's like, well, that is true. Give them the grace they need, okay? And don't let, yeah, we know. Don't let Toga touch us, we know. As Deku sets off, and he basically flies up at incredible speeds. It would pan over to Mini in the air. He flies over, looks down on the ground, and he's like, interesting. As he just flies down, and then he's like, yep, this is where the number 2 hero's at. He walks in, and he begins the brawl. Not really a brawl, he just says, hey. And then, you know, a tall, muscular dude, we got to do it anime fashion, would look over at Deku and looks down. What, are you lost or something, kid? Sorry, buddy, but I'll give you approximately 3 seconds to step away from me before I knock you out and make you bedridden for 3 weeks exactly. What type of threat? You had your chance. Deku slightly flies up a little bit, but it's more like a kick, and then knocks him out and knocks him through a wall. And all these, you know, flame quirks or flame individuals start trying to attack Deku. But Deku, once with a mask, okay, it's a smile mask, as he proceeds to basically just start beating down on everyone, effortlessly, realistically. And then, you know, Endeavor's not here at the moment, so he basically takes down everything. And let's just say the second strongest person there next to Endeavor is fighting off Deku for a really long time, which it doesn't matter how their quirk is, but it's something like this. And then, long story short, Deku basically starts breaking down and building down on the building, and then moments later you can see the walls melting and boosh, enter Endeavor. He's like, what's going on here? And Deku's like, nothing. But the fact that you've shown yourself means that the real fun can begin. And similar to how Obito's mask worked, it'll be something like that. I think it would be something where you can still kind of see his eyes a little bit, but you don't really see his eyes. And then you'd see a hint of green and red, and then that's where this part would end off. I hope y'all guys enjoyed.